in the world of Tal'Dorei, but this time a little different. See, it is the holiday season here in the real world, and well, we only have two of our players here that's really enjoyed playing the games and had the time to do so. With that said, we are doing a special one-shot holiday special here, and not too much here is going to really meant to be canon. It's going to be a wild ride. One of the big changes, though, is you two have inspiration. We're not going to really use that during the session, so treat it as you have no inspiration, because that's really for the main story. Another thing is, because you guys are still in the mix of some interesting plots going on in Wildleaf, I can't really throw certain things in here. I can't really reference certain things because they may or may not happen. So there's not really going to be a recap because of that. But I am going to kind of paint the scene with your characters and just how things are going to be starting off here. Also, on that same note, I do have to take quite a few liberties due to both about the players and about choices that may or may not be made in the near future in the main campaign. So it's yeah, it's definitely special today. Let me switch the music here.
It's the shrooms. Reality's kind of hazy right now, and
just
sorry, how the hell did you break Christmas?
pretty easy. Christmas doesn't have really good hardness score, so it takes damage.
I mean, I thought I've seen someone write an entire module that was written in rhyme for Christmas. There's a module out called "How the Goblin Grinch Stole Christmas."
Interesting.
And the entire thing is written in poetry, like the entire thing.
So I'm just pulling up the picture view of Wildleaf here. Alright, so, Rixori, Althaea. Much like when you first entered Wildleaf, your group is kind of scattered about. Now, for this, Sebastian is still in custody. Does still get kind of visits here and there, but he is still under arrest for this. But everybody else is kind of doing their own things, making sure that the inn runs smoothly. In fact, that's been one of Billidan's pet projects, as we'll get into in a moment. But there hasn't been any more thefts or robberies. Things kind of calmed down in that sense. And the Winter Solstice celebration is coming soon. It's on this eve. The snow falls thick, about a few inches of snow on the main fairway. Most people are in their homes. Some people still are traveling to some of the business, including the Wildleaf, which is where Althaea and Rixori are currently headed to, keeping their cloaks tight as the winter winds just gust through the open streets, chilling you both to the bone. And that's where you look up and you see what used to be the Wildleaf Inn. As now, there is a sign that has been painted by Newt. It is now reads the Enchanted Wildleaf, or simply as Enchanted as the locals now call it. A picture sign has also been painted that depicts Sebastian with a unicorn horn, wearing a bedazzled pink horse gear, with all the party riding upon his back, except Newt. She is in his arms, kind of sideways planking, giving the viewer of the sign a little wink and salute. And very fine gold lettering underneath the sign, it says, "Home of the Cuddle Cult."
What did Newt do?
I went out for 5 minutes.
No, this is like the span of a couple days, and apparently
No.
Billiton's
5
changed the
minutes.
direction of the inn.
You see that now? That's why I told you, get a leash. But no, nobody wanted to get a leash. People didn't think a leash was necessary. No,
Well, I was
now look what happened.
Well, I was going to, but they only had one type of leash, and I'm not putting that on her.
Well, maybe you should have. When I needed to be near her all the time, I put a leash on her, and it worked great.
Well, looking at this sign, she
more of a
probably
channel
has a
house.
leash on her now.
Oh, looking at this sign, she's broken the city. That takes a special kind of talent.
Althea, how many fire spells do you know?
One, and it's not prepared.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to burn it down and save the world. Let's just go in and find out what...
But technically the green flame blade. I do know that one. And firebolt, so 2 fire spells.
Oh, red and green.
It's Christmas. It's solstice.
Yes, the winter solstice. All right.
I mean, so if you need me to burn it down, I can firebolt it down, I guess. I don't know if that works well against ice, but we can try it.
Well, let's go in first, and then we'll consider that option.
Alright, you lead the way.
All right, you go to the doors here, which are decorated with very festive colors, and you hear the music coming from inside. It's a very popular place. Billiton has kept the books where the inn still makes actually more of a profit than what Lunaris had, but it makes a significant more profit, which Billiton is very happy to keep for himself for payment of his services. And as you walk in, the music hits your ears. The dark lights, the fairy fire going around. Behind the bar, you see Rixori. Seems like she's having a good time mixing drinks and actually talking with some of the customers. Wearing a little provocative outfit, but she doesn't really seem to care. She just actually enjoys working as a bartender. It's one of the few times you've actually seen her smile. But there is a little band playing, little bards. They're not playing Billiton's music. He has a troupe that follows him now that plays his theme music. Now, what you see on a little, it's almost like a little wooden platform that has almost like a little cage by it, just a little protective cage. Inside is Newt doing a very provocative dance, and she's fully clothed. Outside of this little stage, there's almost like a little pit, and there's little railings where basically the patrons can toss little coins at the little pit, and Newt will dance closer to them. And occasionally there's some people that come in and clean the pit and bring the monies to the back room, where you see Billiton keeping track of all the numbers, piles of coins, putting them in different sacks, and just organizing. And then you just see this when the doors kind of open and close, and he just kind of fixes his glasses as he looks back out, keeping everything very organized. Everybody seems very happy here, considering the recent events where they, had their belongings tossed in the middle of the night. Most people got thrown out into freezing cold as guards searched in all their homes. So, this is what you see when you go into the Enchanted.
Althea,
Yes.
Lunaris is gonna kill us.
Ooh, who is this? Us? I'm an innocent elf that's only an employee. You and I both know the real brains behind this operation. This is Billiton's fault.
Yes.
All we have to do is give into a song, right? We'll sing our way through this. You ready with me? Sing with me. dashing through the town, trying to find our way. Through these streets we go, fighting all the day. You destroyed the world. I'm really not surprised. Billidan gets the gold. That's when we'll realize, hey, you'll take it, Rixori.
I can't sing.
You know what? Because this is the Christmas special, Althaea, I'm going to give you a plus 5 bonus on your next roll in game.
Woohoo! Alright, so it's not that bad. You know, they turned the pub into a club. And they've got nice lighting effects, which, I think this is a little ahead of our time. The music has a nice beat, though. We can salvage this. Why don't you go tell, you know, Newt that this is not good?
Well, Newt seems a little busy at the moment.
And she's really happy. She just seems to be, you know, really into the music, and she likes to dance. She's just really happy.
Right. Okay. All we have to do is survive. It's not like, look, it could be worse. The town is still here. There's not a lot of bloodshed. This can be fixed up. Some mops and some paint. This will be fine. This is nothing. Maybe we should just enjoy ourselves, you know?
This is pretty similar to my previous winter solstices, but with a lot less blood.
Most of the time, I just have lots of sex.
Well, let's go talk with Master.
All right, lead the way.
All right, so you make your way around the club there. Again, it's pretty packed. People are, you know, eating, celebrating, you know, playing little card games, gambling. Harmless game, and not, you know, any die-hard, you know, cutthroat, you know, gambling games going on. Most of them just seem to be enjoying the entertainment, the music, the food, the many spirits that are being served. You make your way behind the bar where Orky just kind of looks at you, and again, she's smiling, which you haven't really, you know, it's very rare from her. And she's even doing the little tricks where she's flipping bottles and making a little show of it, taking orders. And again, just occasionally chit-chatting with some of the patrons. You never really heard her even talk this much. But you kind of go past her, and behind the wall where all the wine bottles and other, you know, various ales and spirits are stored, there's a little door. It's the door to the office. You open it up, and inside it's much brighter in here than it is in the rest of the establishment. Billidan sees you, just kind of looks up as he's still counting coins, marking things down. Even has like a little abacus. And he kind of waves you to hurry up and come in because the music's distracting to him. Yes, what do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Well, I can see that, Master, but how did you do all of that?
What, out there? Well, you know as well as I do that one day Newt decided upon herself to start painting a new sign. Well, one change after another. And, well, you know how she tends to just do things without checking with any of us? Yes. Well, she started dancing and making a mess of things. We got her in a secluded area to dance, and she started drawing a lot of attention. People started paying to see her dance. So we gave her a more appropriate stage, one that ensures her safety and that she doesn't leave, that the patrons can't touch her or harm her, and that they can give us all their bloody money.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound exactly like a bad idea at all.
Say, Althaea, for once you are talking sense. Rixori, you need to learn from her.
But you're exploiting Newt.
Words never spoken by anyone ever again or before.
Don't worry, Althaea.
I'm not exploiting her.
I don't want to.
She wants to dance, and I wasn't going to have her destroying the inn, dancing around, bumping into tables, or even on tables as she was doing, or putting herself in harm's way by trying to dance with random patrons, drunk patrons, mind you. I thought you were concerned with her safety. Worried about her mother and all that rubbish.
He's got you there.
I don't think dumping gasoline on an oil fire is really a good way to put it out.
Oh, no, of course it is. You throw the oil on the fire turns into a giant fireball. However, it then burns up all the fuel nearby and eventually goes out.
The girls are doing what they want to do. They are helping the inn. They are under control for once. Rixori is not drunk, trying to get into fights with random patrons. Newt is safe and also, a rare instance, under control. We still have the issue about her obsession with the centaur, but we'll handle that in time. For now, this inn is making quite a bit of money, and, well, since we can't be out doing mercenary work, Lunaris had the right idea of running a business. The money is amazing. And you just see, like, the piles of bags behind him that he's got kind of segregated and counting up, and he's still got more, like, this large sack that he's going through counting and making little logs for. He's not cheating Lunaris out of anything. He's giving Lunaris a profit, but he is not really skimming, but he's kind of taking his own cuts for managing and coming up with the new ideas and things like that.
Reallocation fee.
You're planning to swim in that money later, aren't you?
The thought had crossed my mind. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
if you had this much bloody money?
Well,
I would
yeah.
donate it to the poor and hungry on Winter Solstice.
This is Billidan we're talking about. You know that's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen.
Well, the girls, mainly Newt, did want to feed some of the destitute and hungry of the city on the eve of the solstice, and we do have quite a bit of leftovers from the kitchens at night, so I didn't see any harm of it. They normally would be tossed out anyway, and it makes the lass happy, so there, that is my good deed for this year.
Your Billidan is being charitable.
No,
Don't question it. Don't question it, Althaea.
he's not really being it's just that's already stuff that's being wasted, and it would keep Newt under control, so he doesn't see it's not a loss to him.
Right. Understood. This is weird.
He's
but
still feared,
not
though.
bad weird. Of course. Well, is there anything that we can do to help in any way, shape, or odd form?
Stay out of trouble. The guard have left us alone. Newt is, well, hasn't really calmed down, but she's under control. Rixori is sober. Katsu is probably out feeding a homeless person somewhere. Donaros, he's weird. He just keeps drawing Sebastian and the girls and taking notes. I don't know what to make of him.
Great. Okay. Well, I mean, this could be so much worse. Well, Rixori, why don't we enjoy, like, a holiday eggnog? Or something.
Alrighty. And then we shall spread the true meaning of the holidays. There's too much happiness.
All right. So you leave Billidan's office, and again, he is probably the happiest you've seen him because he's making lots of money. He's spending time with money. Things are going his way for a change. with very little cost or risk to him. So he is extremely happy this time of year, for once. You go back out into the main general area where the performance is still going on. Rixori is still serving drinks, and you let her know what you'd like, and she prioritizes making your drinks and giving you exactly what you order. So with the drinks in hand, what do you do?
Find a place to sit.
Okay. You want to sit at a table, a booth, the bar, by the center stage?
No, just find a table somewhere.
We can go sit next to Newt.
I don't think we want to do that and risk interrupting her. That's a good thing that's going on, so let's leave that be.
Okay.
All right, so you've managed to find a small table along one of the walls, just seats just enough for both of you. You sit down. Little fairy fire just blinks around as it kind of flashes throughout the darkened room. They've lit far less candles in here, and the ones that they do have lit, they have little paper screens around to give it different color hues, so to keep it not just a bright lights, but just to match the atmosphere. As you're drinking, watching the patrons, get drunk, not causing a ruckus, suddenly, Althaea, you hear your name being called. Althaea!
Althaea will look around for whoever is screaming her name.
Althaea!
Hello?
Clearly you haven't had enough to drink.
Make a perception check.
Great.
$19. All right. So, looking around for the voice, you're looking around the patrons. None of them seem to be shouting your name, and it's definitely not one of your companions. And that's when you look down. At first, you think maybe it's halfling or gnome or maybe a really short dwarf. No, you don't see anybody there. And then you look further down, and right below the lip of the table, that's when you see this little creature. This little winged creature with a forked tail, very long, hooked nose, little claws, very dark gray skin, almost like little clouds of dirt and smoke just kind of gently wisp from this creature as it moves. And it's holding a little scroll tube, and it's jumping up and down. I want you to make a intelligence check, Althaea.
Alrighty then.
Now, Rixori, you hear this and you see Althaea looking down, and you see this creature as well. Now, Althaea, you, even with the darkness of the tavern, which is now a fake club, this creature you recognize. You almost do a double take, because you don't expect this creature to be here. You haven't seen this creature since you were a little girl, since before you were sent to the Tower of High Sorcery. This is your dust method named Mr. Biggles. He is from your family's home.
Oh, what was the name of it again?
You know him as Mr. Biggles.
Ah, Mr. Biggles, what are you doing here?
Rixori just breaks out laughing.
What is his name?
And he's like waving with two hands, this scroll tube kind of jump up and down, fluttering his little bat-like wings. Lady Althaea! Althaea! Message!
All right. Calm down and stop yelling. Rixori, why don't you and I take this somewhere quieter?
Sure, we'll head up to my room.
All right, come on, Mr. Biggles. Let's go upstairs and we can decide what's going on here.
All right, and he'll start climbing on your lap, and then on your arm, and then onto one of your shoulders. He just kind of perches there. You've seen him do this with other members of your family when you were a small child, but you were so small that he couldn't really do that with you. In fact, you're closer to his height when you last saw him.
It's like 150 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's why you almost didn't recognize him. It's been so long.
All right. So once we're to Rixori's room. All right, Mr. Biggles, why don't you tell me what's going on?
And he hands you the scroll tube.
All right. I'll unroll the scroll tube.
All right, well, you pop the top on it, and inside are two parchments. There's two scrolls. Mr. Biggles says, "Okay, I did my job." And he kind of gives you a little hug. "Must go now. Family needs me." And you just see him kind of spin really quickly. Dust goes flying everywhere. Almost kind of hurts your eyes as particles fly in both Rixori's and Althea's eyes. The creature, after he spins off, and you've seen him do it when you were a kid. It used to make you laugh as a child. Now, it's just really annoying.
Now you're gonna clean that up, aren't you?
Oh, he's gone.
I'll clean it up later.
It is the mistress's job to take after her servants who spread dust all over my room.
Look, I'm not a mistress, but yeah, I'll hire someone to clean it up. Anyway.
So, the first scroll that you pick up, I want you to make an Arcana check. It's got some sort of spell on it.
All right, let's see what's going on here exactly. Oh yeah, I forgot that perception would have been like a 24.
Yeah, with the +5. All right, so a 19 on the Arcana check. So this scroll appears to be one for a teleport spell that is linked specifically to a teleportation circle that you are assuming is somewhere at your family's estate, where the Mr. Biggles is from.
It appears to be, I guess I'm needed back home for some reason.
The other scroll has a message on it. And the message reads, "Althea, I am writing this because it is with heavy heart that I tell you your grandfather is no longer with us. The family is gathering for the winter solstice at the estate in Syngorn. It would be really wonderful if you would come join the family gathering during these times. All of the family will be there. Well, the ones not in the Tower of High Sorcery, anyway. They would be overjoyed to see you. I am sure it has been so long since we last saw you, dear. I know you find the home rather tiresome, but I want you to be a good girl and use the teleport scroll, and don't keep your grandmother waiting. Hugs and kisses."
Oh. Alright. That's rather sad. It seems, she'll relay the contents of the note. More or less just about her grandfather passing away. Apparently there's a funeral to go to. Would you like to come?
Oh, goody. I could spend time with your family, a bunch of elves, during the holidays. Yay!
I mean, you could try to sound a little,
Yay!
That's
Does that sound better?
That's better. Alright. We'll have to pick some things up and then head to the teleport circle.
No, I think that right there takes you to the circle.
Yeah, that
Right, but-
teleports you there.
Look, we can't show up like this. This is a formal event. We actually need to stop and get clothes.
Are you saying my armor is not respectable enough for elves? Is that it?
No, I'm saying your
My
armor
priestess
is...
robes are not good enough for you.
You're hearing
No, I'm
Althea
saying-
saying she wants more clothing to wear.
Actually, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's go get some clothes.
I was just saying, that it's more like, your priestly vestments of the Dark Lord, not
What?
exactly,
Oh, I don't have those.
anymore.
I didn't say that part. You inferred that.
But no, we it's a funeral, so we need to look nice. I'll actually have to find a dress.
But shouldn't it be a day of celebration of returning to the... You know what? You're right. We're not Dark Lord. We're not doing that. We're gonna...
Well, also you got to remember, Grandpa was an elf. That means, he's not dead. He's just gone. Unless he was killed, at which point he's dead, but they would have fixed that. In any case, let's,
Rixori considers for a moment reminding Althea of something. But it's the holidays and she's not that heartless. Alright, let's go get some clothes.
yeah.
Okay. So, the girls go shopping. Alright. So you start going to the vendor stalls. There's some shops that are still open, but barely. They're getting ready to close. It's, again, close to the winter's solstice celebration. So a lot of shopkeepers want to go home to their families and out of the cold. Spend the time with their loved ones. All the things that seem to be irritating Rixori at the moment because everybody is just too damn happy.
Everybody is. There's too many smiles.
Okay. Now, Rixori, I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up, as they say. My family doesn't exactly know what I do.
Which part? The horse part, or the part where we kill a bunch of, wild creatures and people and...
Both. As far as they're concerned, their little girl is doing magical research somewhere.
Rixori just has a happy grin on her face. Oh, is that so?
And so I am a sweet and chaste young maiden studying in a library somewhere.
This is starting to turn into a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my elven mouth?
Oh, don't worry, Althaea. I totally understand them.
So she is picking out the most girly, sweet,
Very frilly dress.
Christmas dress that makes her look like, half her age.
Gotcha.
Does Althaea tell Rixori this before she buys the dress?
She told you that, then she went and picked out that specific dress.
Oh, before Rixori's picked out her dress.
Most likely.
One moment.
Is that the bad idea die?
That was the bad idea, die.
Did she just
Don't
pick up
worry.
the slutty elf, Christmas elf dress?
No. Rixori actually buys something fairly formal.
Okay. All right.
Rixori has a decent idea of Syngorn fashion.
So, what exactly you buy? You would describe the dress that Rixori picked out, since we all know what Althea is wearing.
That'd be something far more simple. A solid color, solid probably black. sleeveless just to throw off Althea a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Simple.
All right. Now, armed with 2 formal dresses, are you ready to go see and meet Althea's family?
If I say no, can we stay here?
Sure, you can be there for Newt's performance.
Actually, that makes me a witness then. Let's go.
And somehow, in some way, Queen Rixori is going to blame Sebastian for all of this.
Well, yeah. Didn't you see the sign?
All right. So, if you have nothing else to do before you go, Althea, you pull out the scroll, you start reading the incantations. After about a good 10 minutes, you finish the spell scroll. Bright light flashes over both of you from floor to ceiling. Runes on both the floor and ceiling suddenly are projected. These different moving, swirling sigils, they start moving back and forth from floor to ceiling until they become just a blur. And then in a bright flash, you are suddenly no longer in Rixori's room. Althea, you recognize where you're at. Sort of. You're in your family's estate, in the foyer. However, let me pull up the foyer map here. So, now, the things directly above both your characters there, those are just kind of there to show you that there's really nothing above there. I didn't really have another token that I could use that was better for that, so I just figure we'll, just make it little either household members or, little suits of armor, things like that.
Alright, hold on. My Fantasy Grounds just decided to shite itself.
Yeah, it's still
There we
trying
go.
to load.
It's not that big of a map. It's very small.
It always, whenever you do a map of any sort, it does that for me.
Gotcha. Trying to adjust it for the stream here.
It's fine now. It just takes a second. What are those green markers?
That's your life bars. For some reason, they're really exaggerated here. I'm not sure why. I did have some issues with some of their tokens when I was trying to place them. Now, the tree in the middle here, they didn't really have anything close to what I'm about to describe here. So you don't see a menacing-looking tree there. I just want to make sure that is crystal clear. Let me zoom out here a little bit, just for the stream. All right. What you see is in the center of this grand foyer is a pulsating star of golden light. It's almost touching the ceiling. Cascading down in a wide cone is a shower of smaller twinkling lights that take the shape of a tree. From the base, spiraling upwards to the star, is a bright light that when it reaches the star, it creates almost like this starburst. And this repeats about every minute or so. So you just see this bright star that's sprinkling these little smaller twinkling lights that form the shape of a tree. And at the base, there's this brighter light just snaking its way up, spiraling to the top. And when it hits a star, this bright flash goes off, and then it calms down and repeats every so often. It's a very pretty sight. Now, at the corners of the walls here, these are suits of armor here. They're decorated in, elvish armor, more of a royal guard kind of garb. They're purely for decor. There's not an actual armed person inside of them. The rest of the foyer is decorated with pictures of various members of your family, Althea, some of them still living, others long since passed. Rixori, what are your thoughts being here? Now, as you look around, you are in Syngorn. If Rixori, if you were to step outside, you would have some issues.
What, in Syngorn?
Yes.
I shouldn't have any issues with Syngorn other than the usual racist elves. That map finally loaded.
All right.
It's not like I openly revealed myself at any point.
Althea, what is your first thoughts here as being back in your home estate the first time in a very, very long time?
Her first thoughts are, oh god, this can go very badly. We're just gonna have to play this one by ear. She also feels uncomfortable because her armor is stowed. And she's wearing a very poofy dress. Right. Okay then.
So as you are standing there, just kind of getting the jitters out, you hear footsteps coming from what you remember to be the dining room, which is the area to the east of you. The footsteps you recognize from a furbolg named Farlan. He's got grayish skin, bright red nose, very long pointed ears that go almost completely horizontal. And as you remember him, he seems to be a little tipsy. He comes in there, he's got kind of fixes little spectacles. Althea? Is that you?
What was the Furbolg's name again?
Farlan.
Farlan. She will give Farlan a curtsy. Why, yes it is. I've come back for the funeral.
And he kind of walks up, and he almost has a limp. You don't remember him having a limp as he comes over to you, and he kind of leans very close. He almost like his eyesight may have gone a bit. My, have you grown? And he's just kind of looking up at you. And he also sees Rixori there. And who's this? I don't remember you.
Oh, I should do introductions. I'm so sorry.
My name's Mira. Don't listen to whatever she says.
This is my friend Mira. She's a priestess. We work together at the library.
Yes, I study divine magics and stuff.
I see. Well.
So, if I can ask, because it wasn't in the scroll, however did Grandfather pass?
I don't know the particulars, but it was a very bad timing as we have the Winter Solstice celebration. And now we have a bit of joy and sorrow. And as he's kind of rambling on with his words, there's another pair of footsteps coming. These sound almost like heels. Or, platforms. And coming through the south entrance, you see a dwarf. It's a male dwarf, but he's wearing a woman's kind of red sequin dress. He's got his beard braided with various very pretty gems. You also recognize him, Althaea. This is Crumbrek. He is one of the family's very loyal, respectful servants. He's always been well-mannered, at least as you can remember from a child. He seems to be ordering some other staff members to place some crates down in the room. When one of them places one down, they kind of spill it. It kind of cracks a little bit. And you see little, looks like peppermint gumdrops just start rolling out from there. And he's like, "Don't make a mess. These are for the celebration."
Does he often wear ladies' clothing?
As long as you can remember.
Is
He was
this your
awesome
cousin?
at your tea parties.
That's one of my family servants. Hello.
And he kind of snaps his head over, and he sees you, and you see he's, now that you get a much clearer view with the light of the tree. He has makeup and things on just to accent his features, not overly feminizing him too much. He just likes to feel pretty, at least that's what he always tells people why he wears the dresses. And he stops. Althaea? And he
Hey?
walks over. The platforms kind of clack, clack, clack in the foyer. It is you! Ah! Thought I'd never see you again. I thought you were out studying or researching something.
Oh yeah, the usual. I got the letter about grandfather's passing.
Yeah, she's definitely out there studying, all right.
She elbows Rixori. Sorry, arm slipped. Do you know what exactly happened to grandfather?
Not too much on the particulars. I've been very busy with the preparations for the solstice celebration when your grandmother received the news. But some of the other family are running around here. You may be able to catch one of them. They may be able to tell you a bit more. But, and as he says that, you hear a squeak. And eating one of the gumdrops, or stealing one of the gumdrops, you see a little cranium rat. And you can't believe this rat is still alive. This rat was old when you were a child. This is your grandmother's pet rat. His name is Tulip, but she refers to him as her little flower.
Hey, I see Tulip is still around and kicking.
Yes, secure that crate. Don't let him eat all the candy. And they're trying to hurry up and, put some other boards on there and try to hammer in before the cranium rat can get in there and start chewing all the delicious candies within.
So yeah, they said that I was needed, and so since things were going well where we were, I saw no reason why I shouldn't come because I could. I should introduce, this is my friend Mira. She's a priestess.
It's a pleasure.
And what church are you a priestess of?
Oh, unfortunately, the priestess is just a very flowery title they like to give me. I just simply study divine magics.
All right. So, as you're talking here with Crumbrek, you start to hear some other footsteps come down from the western chambers, and looking about, you remember most of this chamber. It used to be part of the family study. It still has the same owlbear rug that it's always had. The fireplace that's there is not lit. Up above, it still has an object that, as a child, you were never told what it does. It's this glowing cube. Let's see. Actually, I have a better description of it here. So it slowly just kind of hovers about 2 feet off the ground, and it slowly spins on its own axis. And not in just one direction, it changes trajectory. very slowly, giving off this faint blue light that illuminate the upper part of the study. It also has a very light, soothing hum to it. One thing that you notice right away is the books that used to be in these studies, the ancient tomes, the great works that some of your grandfathers and great-grandfathers and so forth have collected throughout their travels and such. This place is pretty barren. There's only a handful of books left here.
No, what happened to the library here?
And Chroma just kind of looks at you. Well, putting you and some of your other family through the Tower High Sorcery is not very cheap, and nobody's really been successful in their endeavors for the ones who have graduated. Not a lot of coin has been coming back to the estate, sadly.
I see. I'll be working on that then. Very, very soon. That is being added to my priorities.
And
Wow, it's like your family's doing as well as mine is.
Yeah, I didn't realize things would be this bad, but it makes sense. 100+ years of training. You think your college tuition is bad.
And anybody who's qualified in your family, your grandmother has never said no for them going to the Tower of High Sorcery. You still have family members, be it, cousins and so forth, that are in there right now still going through their studies. Now, you hear another pair of footsteps coming out of the dining area, and exiting that area is this high elf. She's got this flock of flowing silver gray hair. Makes her look like the exotic beauty that she is, rather busty exotic beauty. And she moves with a grace, almost as, if music were playing every time she takes a step. Almost similar training to what you would have, and it takes a moment before it hits you. This is not one of your family members. This is somebody that you knew back in the Tower of High Sorcery. This is Olira. She used to be one of your flatmates for a term. However, you see that apparently she still has a bad habit from the old college days. She still seems to enjoy a little bit too much of the halfling leaf.
I see. Hello, Lyra!
But that's not the only issue is, back in those days, you two got close for a little bit.
Oh, hello, Lyra.
Althaea! Oh, you're a sight for sore eyes. Oh.
Yeah, and just remember, what happens in the dorm room stays in the dorm room, and my family doesn't need to know about it. They especially don't need to know about what I did when I decided I didn't want to finish at the tower.
You're ashamed of when we kissed in your dorm room that night?
No, I'm not ashamed of when we kissed in the dorm. I'm afraid my mother will kill me.
You kissed her too?
I kiss a lot of people. It's just sex. It doesn't mean anything.
It meant nothing?
Well, I mean, it was special. That was my first...
And she gives you a hug, and she goes, "Yes, I'm so sorry about your mother."
What? No.
And she
How
kind of...
many of my family has died?
You didn't hear?
I've spent the last, year away from this planet.
So, one of your cousins now enters the chamber here. following a few minutes after Olira. This is Araster. He's been in... kind of carries a chip on his shoulder. He's rather ambitious, but he wasn't good enough to get into the Tower of High Sorcery. He was forced to go to Community Bardic College instead. And you see him kind of walk up and just kind of hook arms with Olira. And he's wearing this really almost a bit too small purplish cap for his head with a black feather and matching purple vestments. Hello, Althaea. Glad you could grace us with your presence.
Sorry, I just found out about this, and apparently about Mother. I didn't know.
Well, Mother is still here. She's up in her room. Your mother's name is Breland.
I thought she just said my mother passed away.
No, she said sorry to hear about your mother.
Alright, what happened to my mother?
She was cursed by necromancers. She is struck with very violent hallucinations. She has been bedridden ever since. So, and from what he describes, it's very similar to when you were under the effects of that robe, just completely paralyzed. Only your mother's mentally being just afflicted as well, just tortured.
I was kind of mentally afflicted too. Remember, I was dropped to an int of 6.
True, but you still had your faculties, be it, diminished. Your mother's is also under horrific hallucinations. So she doesn't even know it's real.
So someone cursed my mother, and no one bothered to tell me. Then again, I was gone for a year.
Yes, they've never been able to find a successful cure for her. Someone, though, we know who did it. You should know who've done it. That House Lamorne. The ones led by Vremlin the Eternal. They're kind of a...
Right!
They're another elven house that have never really got along with your family's house. It's kind of like one of those long, very almost millennial old family feuds.
Right. Has there been any retribution then?
We never could prove that they were the ones who did it, but any time things happen around here to one of us, it's good money to put on the Lamorns. They're usually behind it.
I was under a pretty nasty curse not too long ago myself.
Yes. Glad you got over it, and you just get the sarcasm from it. He is not glad to see you being here at all.
Hold on for a second. My Siri just heard what I was saying and decided it was going to interject. Hold on.
So basically, it's turned into Rixori.
Siri, roleplay.
You better be careful with that one. That could be taken way too many different ways that we don't need to know on stream. Alright. So, Rixori, you're hearing this news about Althea's family, seeing some of her other family members welcome to see her, and others, well...
Siri has been disabled.
Woohoo! What is your thoughts on this whole thing, Rixori?
Well, on one hand, it's always sad when, bad things happen. On the other hand, Rixori still remembers how Althaea, called her names, and it meant nothing to you, Althaea. Nothing at all.
Not really. I mean, it did. It's hard to explain. You also have to remember, I was like, we at the time.
I didn't mean them, I meant us.
What are you doing, Mira? There is no us and has never been an us.
I see how it is. That's why you brought me to your home to go. I see.
I brought you here because we were in the same place, and you're one of the people I work with? Why are you doing this? Aside from the fact I'm fairly certain if our spaces were reversed, this would be hilarious.
I'm just hurt right now. I'm hurt for you.
Mira, this is not the time for this. Really not the time for this.
And you see Arister just kind of smirk seeing these. Come now, Lyra. Let us go and wait for the rest of the family. Let these two lovers settle their quarrel. And he says that loud enough to kind of echo a little bit.
Apparently we're not.
Mira, this is not the time for that. Really, this is not the time for that.
Okay.
Mira, my family doesn't know. Not cool.
She just kind of turns her back and just chuckles a little bit.
You're a terrible liar. Alright, we should go and... If Mother's out of it, there's no reason to go see her right now. I don't want that burned into my memory. I'd rather go find out who in the hell dared to do such a thing to her. So, she says to her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is the ranking family member here today?
Oh, he's already gone back into the dining chamber.
Okay. Let's head into the dining chamber then, and then we'll decide what to do.
All right, so a few things in the dining hall that you notice off the bat. You still recognize a few things. There's been some new additions, though. You still remember the dragon turtle dining table that's in the center of the chamber. The large rug that decorates around it. The torches have been replaced. They now contain, they're almost like little lanterns, but inside they're little tiny fiery people that are just kind of dancing around about inside. Almost like a ballerina would dance.
Your family doesn't skimp on the decorations, do they?
Speaking of that...
Well, my family is, kind of was, kind of well off.
So was mine, and then elves ruined it. Look at that table!
Ow.
Look
So-
at that table.
On the... There's a ledge, like a little shelf, like a little display shelf on the southern wall. There are 4 creatures here. I can't zoom it out any further for the stream. I'm going to just see if I can move it up a little bit. So, and the creatures are, as they appear, in about the size. One of them looks like to be some sort of construct on the far east side, and then another one looks like a taxidermy displacer beast. Another is the shell or husk of a gorgon. Another one is another taxidermied creature. It looks like a pegasus. And then some sort of almost floating creature that they put on a clear pedestal. And you can see it has 4 very eye stalks, and it's made to look like it's stolen a monstrous, fierce gaze. But it also appears to have been taxidermied as well.
All right.
Althea, your
Those are new
family's powerful
additions.
enough.
Those were not here when you were a child.
Oh, that's kind of new.
Now, sitting around some spots of the table, you do see your cousin, as well as Olira. Food and things have been kind of put around the table for people who just want to, eat or drink. It almost seems like the pitchers of ale and wine, when somebody puts their chalice down, the pitcher will actually lift itself off and start pouring it into the chalice.
Heh.
So the dinner utensils, the food stuffs, they all seem to be kind of animated.
Fancy.
Yeah, my family's kind of well off, or sorta.
Hey, Althea,
Yeah.
do you think they'd notice if I nicked some of it and brought it back with us?
Yes, they would, and especially since they've fallen on hard times, please don't do so.
Okay.
And as you're talking about stealing silverware and such, coming from the southern corridor where the servants and things have come from, you see your grandmother walk down. She wears this white female kabuki mask, which she's always worn to hide some of the scarrings of her face. And she wears a very flowery kimono as well. Her name's Elzira, but you've always just called her, Grandma. And she kind of looks up at you, and you hear from behind the mask, "Oh, Althea. Glad you can join us." And she kind of shuffles along to you and reaches out to give you this hug. She is shorter than you by probably about 5 inches.
Hello, grandmother. I'm sorry to hear about grandfather. And about mother.
Mother, that was tragic, but your grandfather is not to be mourned, but celebrated. We'll get to that in a moment.
Well, if you know who took a shot at mother, I'm more than willing to do my part.
Perhaps I could take a look at her. I do know some divine magic, after all.
It's best we not disturb her right now, but we have other, more pressing matters that we need attending to. Please have a seat. Your aunts and other nephews will be here shortly.
Of course.
And she shuffles along and takes a seat at the table and starts grabbing little, passion fruit and starts kind of cutting it up and eating little bits of it. You see one of your aunts come by. She enters the dining chamber. This is Benaris. She looks like a normal high elf for the most part, except for when she smiles. Behind her striking features is a mouthful of razor-sharp, pointed teeth. very in elven teeth. And she comes by and sits at the table, and she just flashes you the smile to see if you still have the same reaction you did as a child, where you'd get frightened and run to your mother and kind of hide behind one of her legs. Hello, Althaea.
No. She doesn't seem bothered by it anymore. She's seen way too much. Hello, Aunt. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise, dear. Not more than a minute or so behind her is your other aunt, her sister, Brynelin. Now, as she comes in, as she walks, her hips kind of sway, very exaggerated, and her eyes are almost reptilian-like. But otherwise, she looks like a regular half-elf. She walks around the table, just doing a little circle about it before, just watching everybody who's at the table before she takes her seat, leaving 2 chairs on one side of her, as behind her 2 children come, your nephew and niece. The first one, your nephew, Alfir, he kind of has his arms behind his back as he walks in, and he looks like a young, striking lad. He's very, not fat, not too thin, pretty average build for an elf, but it's not until he takes his arms out from behind him that you almost are taken back. Where you would think would be, as you'd like to call your own arms, the spindly noodly arms, he actually has snakes for arms. They're almost like pythons have been attached to his shoulders.
I'm noticing a snake theme going on. It's a little disturbing. What is going on with the family? And the last time I was home was 50 years ago. Yeah,
Wait, snakes?
Why does it always have to be snakes?
I know a bad group like snakes.
Yeah, we work with them.
Yeah, hopefully you don't.
Was a joke. It'll be all right. She's gonna lean over. Is because her aunt is still nearby, right?
Yes.
So
Both of
okay,
them.
what's the one I was talking to? Not the one who just came in with her kids, who are obviously
The one with
reptilian.
the mouthful of sharp teeth?
Yeah,
Benares?
yeah. Aunt Benares, what's the deal going on with all the arms and the reptiles and the snake theme there going on? That's new.
Not really new. You know that our lineage has been diversified over the centuries.
I don't remember him having snake arms.
You weren't around when he was born.
Yeah, there is that.
And
Don't remember any of us having snake arms. I don't have snake arms.
This is true. This is mainly on this aunt side of the family. So there's some kind
gotcha.
of bloodline that has reptilian aspects. Speaking of, his sister comes through, Olafane. Now, she has very deep copper-like skin, but with your elven eyesight, you can see that it has almost a light scale-like sheen to it. And it contrasts with her long black hair, which she just kind of idly twirls with a finger. It's almost like a little teenager would. And she sits down by her aunt, and her little brother with the snake arms also sits next to her. She doesn't really
Bloodline sorcerers.
She doesn't really say much.
So, how have things been here since I was off training?
Well, and this is your grandmother speaking. Well, dear, Things have been a little rough here at the estate. We've had some issues with expenses, trying to keep everybody in the Tower of High Sorcery. And all in those words, you see your cousin, the one that had to go to the Bardic Community College, just kind of wince at that, and you just see a little glare as he kind of looks at you through here. Arister is still holding a very grudge with that. And almost calming him down just for a moment, Alira just kind of pats his hand, and her eyes are still very red from some of the leaf that she's been partaking in. Now. Don't get yourself worked up. It's the season for celebration.
She's gonna look over and in an attempt to at least smooth that over. Believe me, since leaving the tower and going out into the real world, where you get an education from, a lot less important than what you learn to do with it. A few months ago, my friend Mira and I, and our other companions, actually traveled through a dimensional gateway. Nothing I learned in school prepared me for that, let me tell you.
And he still just daggers for eyes, just look at you. It's not just the education, but being from that Tower of High Sorcery, the prestige, the renown, the respect that comes with that. And he feels like that's something that he was robbed of.
And then there was the time I met the Archfey. That was terrifying. So, can anyone tell me what exactly happened to Grandfather?
Well, your most recent words seem to make your grandmother look a little uncomfortable. She kind of fidgets in her seat a little bit. Well, I suppose it's time that we discuss the reason why I've asked everybody to come about concerning your grandfather is no longer with us. He did not die, but he has moved on in a manner of sorts. A small few know of his secret, well, of our secret. You see, and she kind of looks at everybody just staring through that kabuki mask. Our family was chosen long ago to bolster cheer and merriment to the people of the land. Not only in celebration of the Winter Solstice, but also to promote goodness among the community. As long as we did this, we could prevent a sinister archfey calling himself Father Whipper from entering the realm and turning the land into a nightmarish landscape filled with torment and misery. Alas, it was your grandfather's time to take the mantle of Father Solstice to ward off the vile minions of Father Whipper. It is also his job now to reward the good persons of the land and bring people together during the solstice. But back to the matter at hand. When one takes the mantle, another must be chosen who, in time, will be called upon to take the mantle. One member from each of our houses are chosen by the previous Father Solstice. Now, we gather to see who in our house has been chosen for this honor, to be the next Winter Kissed.
Well, I nominate. She's gonna gesture to her cousin, the one who didn't get to go to the tower.
So
I think he'd make a fine Father Christmas.
and
I don't know. I think you undersell yourself.
She's totally threw his ass under the bus.
Well, coming through the entryway, you see a strange creature. One, I'll let both of you make an Arcana check. Now, none of the family members really seem to be alarmed. Your grandmother seems to be ushering them to stay calm. Althaea with a 20 Arcana and Rixori with a 16. You recognize this creature as it walks in with long, flowing robes, dark purple and black hues, bald purple scalp, a mass of tentacles from the front of its face. These little slurping noises coming from it as it walks in the chamber. Your grandmother tells everybody to be calm, but you recognize it as a mind flare. Your grandmother let everybody know. Go ahead.
Rixori is strangely calm about this.
Don't be alarmed. This is Slogal. He's here. He's been sent by your grandfather. And he walks over, he kind of saunters over to the table and reaches into his robes and pulls out this snow globe. It's enough to just barely be slightly larger than his hand. And he places it onto the table. As he does so, the inside begins to have little snowflakes kind of drift down, and you see that the inside has an exact replica of your family's estate. In fact, not only is it an exact replica, but kind of looking through the silhouettes in the windows, in the dining chamber, you can almost see your own silhouettes inside here sitting at the table. It's very eerie.
Well, that's a neat trick. She's gonna wave and watch herself wave.
And the little silhouette just kind of moves about at the table.
That's disconcerting. Please tell me we're not actually in a snow globe.
So, as you kind of start playing with the silhouettes there, suddenly it glows, and this voice resonates in the room. It's the voice of your grandfather. Elzira, you have been with me for almost as long as I can remember. You have been on many adventures with me, as well as an adventure yourself for me. You have a good, kind heart, but you will not be winter-kissed in your lifetime. Know that I love you always. And the globe glows again. Benares, you are a cruel and vile creature. Your manipulative nature and knack for exploiting those around you sickens me. You will never become winter-kissed, and I pray no others fall victim to your kiss again in your lifetime.
Wow, Grandpa, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
Renele,
Thank you, grandfather.
you toy with men's hearts as if they were your own personal playthings. You care nothing for the feelings of others, and your heart is as cold as the blood that pumps through its veins. You will never become winter-kissed, and I only hope that one day you meet a man who treats you like you have treated so many.
Wow, Grandpa has a nice spiteful streak.
Althea, if he knows all this, you know what's coming.
Oh, shite.
Althea, I hope that you do not let your unique form to distract you from your studies. In time, I hope you grow up to become a great sorcerer and maybe, just maybe, one day may be a candidate for Winter Kissed.
Oh, thank God it's not me! Woohoo!
Althaea.
She has that grin of like the father on Mari when he finds out he's not the father. That's what her face looks like right now.
All right. Althaea, I hope that you one day learn to accept your heritage and learn that it is okay to let the world see who you are. I pray that you do not grow up to become like your mother and learn to cherish and respect the affection of others around you. I have high hopes that you will become a candidate for Winter Kissed one day. And the globe glows again. Althaea,
Cool.
you have
Yes?
shown great discipline in your arcane studies over the years. You have always had a heart bigger than you are, and you have learned to share your love with the world. You
Yeah,
never
sure.
Victoria can't hold it in. She's just chuckling at this point.
You never use the ones you love, and you fight to protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Yeah, more or less.
For these reasons, and much more, you have been chosen to be Winter Kissed by Father Solstice.
Wait a minute, I thought I just dodged that bullet!
No, you are the father!
Aw, crap!
And then the globe just, the light goes away for a moment. And the snow just stops falling inside of it. And Arister just kind of looks around. What about me? Was I not even considered?
Believe me, did you hear what he said about everyone else? Do you really want him to address you?
Hey, it's fine. He didn't even address me either. It's good.
You're not exactly, he doesn't know you. Look, I'm the one here.
That's why I never got presents.
Wait
And
a
this is
minute.
what you hear in your minds. This is what you assume is Slogol's voice speaking to each and every one of you. Arister, you lack both the mental discipline, arcane talent, and kindness in your heart. You will never be Winter Kissed in your lifetime.
You see? You should have just been quiet. You didn't need to know that.
And Arister just kind of pushes away from the table, throws his chair back behind him, and just storms out the room.
He's gonna try to usurp the throne.
Oh, wait. Coming in as he leaves, he almost knocks over two servants that are bringing, like, almost two gift baskets. And one of them is brought to Olira, who just kind of is wondering, what's this? The other is brought to you, Rixori. And these are wrapped up little baskets. They're colorful little bits of parchment and ribbons. And the servants just kind of give them, bow and leave them at the table in front of each of you.
I take it back. This has been a happy holiday.
I just find this hilarious that Althaea is the next Santa Claus.
Well, potential candidate.
Okay.
So your family isn't the only one that has a candidate. There's other elven family members from your bloodlines that have a candidate. So it could be any one of those that are picked for the next Father Solstice or Mother Solstice, depending on who's picked. Now, Olira starts opening the gift basket, and her eyes just go wide, and she just kind of smiles, and... Is this real? And she kind of puts her hand inside, and she pulls out this handful of halfling leaf, just like halfling hash. She's got a whole fistful of it.
All right, Rixori, seeing that, is going to open it up and see what she got. Is it a lump of coal?
You start tearing apart the paper very slowly, and nobody's really talking. Everybody's kind of curious what is in your basket there. So the tearing of the paper just kind of echoes through the chamber. After you slowly tear the paper off, inside there's actually 5 potions. One slightly larger than the rest, but all of them have a red shimmering fluid inside of them. And you recognize immediately that the smaller vials are potions of healing, and the larger one is a potion of greater healing.
I might live to see next for some Winter Solstice with this. I mean, praise be to the glory of those above.
Now, Slogol also produces something else. He pulls out a ring, and he presents it to you, Althaea. He's not proposing to you. He gives you this ring, and it's a golden ring that has a little circular jewel. For a moment, you think it's like a colored opal, but at closer inspection, you see it's almost like a miniature snow globe. In fact, it's almost identical to the one that was put on the table, just miniaturized. It even has a small version of the estate inside of it. And unlike the one on the table, this one is almost like constantly has the snowfall going through it.
Ooh,
and what
wow.
this ring functions as is a ring of mind shielding.
Oh,
But
wow.
when you put it on, in your mind, very faintly, you can hear Winter Solstice music.
So it's a ring that's going to drive you crazy with.
Huh. Well, that's useful.
It is a symbol to mark that you have been winter-kissed.
I will treasure it always. Does the music stay on, or does it like fade away?
No, it stays on. It's very faint, but it's there. You know, it's almost like white noise.
I have my own soundtrack. It's Christmas music, but I have my own soundtrack. Billiton's gonna be jealous.
And you're the only one that can hear it. So it's not enough to distract you when you're trying to listen for things, but it's always going to be there. As long as you are wearing the ring.
She'll keep it on for now. It's not driving her nuts right now. That'll be fine.
I'm suddenly flashing back to when I worked in retail.
Just the non-stop music. Yeah. I can see how that will drive one insane.
Over the holiday season, yep. Because there's only like 5 Christmas songs total sung by dozens of people.
So, your other 2 aunts are quite unhappy, obviously. They've just been berated by your grandfather in front of the rest of the family. Your nephew and niece don't really seem too much bothered by information. They don't really understand the importance of what's going on here, at least. Elfir doesn't show it, and Olafane, she just keeps twirling her hair. But after getting her presents, let's see. O'Leary's going to run over to where Arister just ran off, just kind of stormed off, and kind of tend to him. Meanwhile, your grandmother just goes back to eating some of the exotic fruits that are on the table. I can't wait till we open presents. And she's kind of moving her hands back and forth, just lightly touching their fingertips.
Althea, your family's the best.
They're okay.
Although I think you're not gonna be the favorite relative at the gift unwrapping. Call it a hunch.
All right, so it is around then when you say that, you feel the house just kind of jerk, just like almost like it was a tremor. The tableware starts to shake, rattle. The stuffed creatures start to just kind of wobble a little bit. Even the suits of armor start to rattle a bit. The wall lanterns with the flaming dancers inside of them shake about, causing the dancers to kind of flutter and sputter about. Your grandmother holds onto the table for stability and support, as do some of your other aunts and your nephew and niece. Then another violent jerk of the house. Just this horrible vibration, almost the creaking of boards.
Now this is closer to the holidays I remember. Better eat up now.
What's the effect of the ring?
Mind shielding. It acts as a ring of mind shielding.
Okay. Okie doke. I was curious.
All right, so everybody's starting to get kind of worried that what's going on with the house. Your aunts, your nephews are they're trying to get up, and as the house violently shakes again, some of them are falling over. It's shaking that much. So far, it is just Rixori, Althaea, and your grandmother who are still at the table. Your grandmother's just pretty much holding onto the table right now for dear life.
Alright, now what's going on now?
I'm just trying to eat my meal here.
I mean the shaking!
It's fine. It's probably an attack, or someone doesn't like you being the candidate, or... Ooh, look at these little fruits. They're bite-sized.
And as you mentioned that...
Yeah, Althea is already expecting treachery.
All right. So, suddenly appearing, almost out of the aether, you see this almost like a miniature elf, dressed in not colorful solstice apparel, but almost the exact opposite. Just these dark, very depressing colors. But the style of clothing is very much what you expect from almost like a Christmas elf, just with the little pointed shoes, the little pointed hats with the white fur and the ball, just that it's now black fur. And they got little splittering wings. You've seen creatures similar to this, but not to this effect. When you met like Vivi, they're about her size. Only these look like they have malicious intent. And there's another one that you see that is much larger than them, probably about 3 times their size. It's hunched over. And as it's hunched over, wearing the same dark drab clothes, it pulls out a weapon. And the weapon it pulls out almost makes you laugh for a moment until you see that it pulls out like a almost like a sharpened peppermint stick.
I have candy canes downstairs, and now you're making me want one, Dave. Before battle starts, can we take a brief break so I can go get a candy cane?
You really want a candy
And some
cane
water.
right now?
And some water. I want to get some water.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a quick little break here so you can get the candy canes, and we will pick off here in just a moment.
All right, let me go fill my water pitcher, too.
Just gonna put up the break card here.
Or Sebastian.
All right, we are coming back. Okay, so we are back from the break. Everybody is ready and rip-roaring to go, and apparently we have a impromptu song. Did you want to tell everybody how that went?
Oh, God. It was just something I was doodling around with. In honor of Christmas, I'm in a very Christmassy mood.
It's not a bad
Sebastian, the angry centaur, had a giant horse's ass. And if you ever saw him, you'd wonder if he ate grass. All of the other townsfolk didn't like him all the same. They thought he was our pet, and asked him if he was real tame. Then one odd solstice eve, Althaea came and said, Sebastian, with your human head, with your horse's legs, pull my sled. That's how the constables found her, unconscious by a maple tree. Sebastian, the angry centaur, he's a pissed off SOB. There you go, Christmas song.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And you know he would probably like mule kick a bitch for pulling that on him, so you know.
Probably. And you realize that's probably going to get highlighted by somebody.
Most likely. I'm here to entertain. And I have candy cane, so I'm happy.
Good. All right. Let's get some initiative rolls going here. And let's get some combat music going on.
Oh, God, I'm going last.
Oh, dear Lord. Are you not joking? So a 4 and an 11. So, yeah. All right.
Hey, 11's enough.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And again, just a reminder, there is no inspiration for this. So, let me also just plug this here. All right, Rixori, you are going first. So the S's are the smaller Fae that are kind of flying and fluttering about. The H is the one that's kind of hunched over with the sharpened peppermint stick.
Alrighty, well, are they going to be nice and give me 10 minutes to get my armor back on?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, you can
Drats.
ask, but...
I thought it was only like a minute for light and medium armor.
It's a minute for light, 5 for medium, but Rixori wears heavy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm not armored either, so.
Yeah, but you're a dodge tank. I've got an 8 dex.
I have
All
an
right.
AC of 13 until my action.
It's okay. I've got plans for this. You say the S's are flying?
Yes.
I guess I'm going to have to start this off with protection from evil and good on myself. And then as a bonus action, casting spiritual weapon. Okay, well, that was not intentional, but I hit myself. I thought the cast button didn't actually attack. Because the attack should have been...
Quit hitting yourself. That's a pretty good attack. A natural 20.
So there she is, still sitting at the table eating. The magical sword just appears stuck inside a flying fae.
It just flies out. Got a little bow with sharpened, almost looks like miniature peppermint sticks. Just falls to the ground. The sticks just go rolling about on the floor. All right.
Ooh, peppermint sticks.
Ooh, piece of candy. All right, I'm just gonna make that. Actually, no, we're gonna remove that from here. All right. Let's go to the next person here. All right, so the other flitter elf is going to go, and they are immediately going to turn invisible.
I hope you can deal with that, Althea.
Just moving it right here. All right.
So it turned invisible.
Yes, it did. Has it done anything else to you yet? And the other one that's kind of hunched over here is going to pull out a... it's actually going to grab a bow, and it's going to launch a sharpened candy cane and fire it at... Well, Rixori's the closest one here, so that seems like a good one. And will miss with a 5. That is not its day. It will also begin to move about. She'll move it right here. Okay. Now, your grandmother's just kind of hiding under the table, and she's shouting, "Look out, Althaea! It's the Fae! Father Whipper's Fae!"
They're already trying to assassinate Santa.
That's okay, Grandma. I got this one.
All right. Speaking of Althaea,
First things first. Gonna standard action to cast See Invisible.
all right.
So each one of my second level slots, and then I'm going to bonus action activate Blade Dance or Blade Song, because armor class sucks without it. I mean, it sucks anyway because of not having armor right now, but it's much better now. And then move action, I'm going to go ahead and unsheath Discord because, oh no, her blade was still there. And that's it for me. That's all I can do.
All right. Rixori, now you can't see the Solstice Elf up there, Rixori. That's only Althaea can see that.
Yep, so I'm going to advance on Mr. Hunchy Hunch.
Okay.
As a bonus action, move the sword to into his position, and then I'm swinging.
I can't see the
Move
sword.
move your token.
I'm not moving myself.
Oh, okay, it's the weapon. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't see the weapon anywhere.
Yeah, we need to get a token for that. Let's see. That'll work. Now, not sure if you can control that.
Yep.
Now it's not going to have any of the stats or anything for it. It's just going to have the name when you hover over it, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it doesn't need to have any stats.
Okay.
Because I'm casting it out of a spell.
I need to check.
And as an action, Toll the Dead. Sadly, he's not hurt, so it's only going to do a D8.
All right.
But now he's hurt.
Just seeing one thing on your spiritual weapon. All right, so it's spectral. Okay. All right, yeah. So you cast Toll the Dead. He, seems to shake off the main part of the effect of it, but the necrotic energies, the death energies, still rack its body. Just snarls at you as it does. So this black saliva pours out of its mouth. You see its rotting teeth, probably from eating all the candy and not brushing. So be that a lesson. Make sure you always brush.
I'm trying to eat here, sir. Could you please go home?
All right. Let's see next. All right. So this one here doesn't know that Althaea can see it yet. It is going to take a... Actually, let me put the status effect on it real quick. Invisible. And let me temporarily disable that since it's not going to have this effect on. Now it's going to try to attack you, Althaea.
All right.
It is lining up a shot. And looking for its weapon. Actually, hang on.
I should have tagged myself with See Invisible and I didn't. That's my bad.
That's all right. What's its attack's not showing? All right,
Oh, wow. That's why. Because it's not actually a thing I can tag. Never mind.
It's probably one of those things where you just got to code it in the background. I know they...
Yeah.
Where's its weapon thing here? Actually, know what it's going to do? It's still going to attack. It's not going to shoot anything. It's going to cast a spell on you.
Makes sense.
Alright, so I need to roll some D8. Alright, so it's trying to cast Sleep. And
Okay.
those are really kind of below average.
Wait, aren't... No, wait, that's other games. Never mind.
Yeah, no.
I keep forgetting, like, if elves are not in 5e immune to sleep.
Well, that's okay, because you have more hit points.
Oh, no, they can't be put to sleep. Fey Ancestry.
Yep.
You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep.
Alright, so it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't roll enough hit die to even affect you. And with that, it is... Let's see if we want to move it anywhere, or... No, it's not going to move around. Well, actually, no, it's going to move, but... We'll move it over here. Alright. And that's going to end that thing's turn. Just turn that invisibility toggle. And the hunched elf here. It's going to attack by the spectral weapon. Now, this creature here is going to kick one of the crates, and as it does so, you see it, the crate just kind of glow for a short bit with magical energy. And as it does so, you see all these gumdrops start to kind of spill out onto the floor.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And then they start moving.
Gumdrops.
Ooh.
Dude, he cast Animate Gumdrop. Greatest wizard spell ever.
It's okay, I'm gonna eat it to death.
And then he's going to fire again at Rixori.
Oh, that's a hit.
A little bit of a hit. So 15 and now for its...
To be fair, with my AC right now, it doesn't take much to... Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh. All right. So it did damage, but the damage isn't what hurt you. It was the concentration check that hurt.
Yeah, that 2 kind of hurt. Way more than the 2 damage.
All right. And on that note, he is going to... yeah, he's going to go over here. Let's put him over here. All right. Next in line, Althaea.
One of two questions.
This the sword. Does the sword get a attack of opportunity because he moved?
No, sword does not provoke.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Althaea.
Is this large square thing here a table?
Rug. The table's the dragon turtle picture.
Oh, nice. So, with that, Althea's going to be like, you handle that one, I'll take this one. 5, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. How high up is that thing?
Not terribly high, about 15 feet.
Okay, so not melee range.
Yeah, not melee range.
That will change things.
You still use your hand on the chest piece. It's okay. It's a perfectly legal move. Just turning off the invisibility so that you can just roll without any modifiers on it.
Yeah, any shenanigans. Alright, well that's fine. She'll go ahead and move then. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That gives me a good equal distance for both. And she'll go ahead and just lob a firebolt at it.
Okay.
She'll draw her. She'll draw a shroud, but she can cast now with a weapon in her hand, so it doesn't matter.
Go for it. Drop the fireball.
No, not fireball. Firebolt.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay, I was just I'm like, wow. All right.
Boom! Take out the room.
Now, Althea doesn't have fireball.
Burn down her family's estate. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
No, she doesn't have fireball.
All right, I could have
But
the
she
fireball.
can hit the hell out of something with a firebolt.
Unless it's a drunk kid in a cloak who has his arm broken, then she can't hit it. Wow.
So she just rushes up, draws her second dagger, and when she has a unique way of casting when she's got 2 weapons out because of Warcaster, and so like basically she levels Shroud. She holds the dagger out in front of her, so that's Shroud. She holds Shroud out in her left hand, and with her right hand she kind of crosses them almost like she's holding a bow.
Nice.
And from this kind of, for a split second, there is like this magical bow of fire that the firebolt streaks out of and strikes the fey creature. And her family's probably freaking out because they probably, they don't know she's a blade singer. They do now.
Nah, most of her family's gone. And Grandma's under the table. It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah. At least Grandma now knows. But that's it for me. That's my whole action. Duns.
Alright. So, the gumdrops start to continue to roll and move about here. And as they do, They start moving, and you see them just kind of... Right now, they're moving underneath the armored statue here, kind of sticking to it, climbing up it a little bit, and then across over its feet. And that's all it's... That's all it can... Actually, no, I can move one more with it. Get the armor out the way so I can actually select it. But yeah, you got this swarm of spiced gumdrops coming towards you slowly. And Rixori, you just see them just rolling about, almost like they squish and then, stretch as they move about. Some of them just roll on their sides in semicircles as they try to inch closer to you.
Well, I'll eat them later. And 20... I guess 25, that should give me back line of sight with H.
Well, that you'd have to climb up because that's high up platform. That's why there's steps going up.
I'd have to step up one to actually see him, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you need to get a little closer because he's got... Right now, he's completely obscured by that wall.
Would that... No, I'd have to go one more, wouldn't I? He'd have partial cover.
Yeah, you need to inch a little closer. So you're getting closer to the gumdrops.
Wait, would it be full cover or partial at this angle?
At your current angle... I'm just checking the corners here. He would have partial.
That's good enough for me. Sacred Flame ignores that.
18 on the Sacred Flame, so you do hit it.
Wait a minute. Would that be a hit? Wouldn't that be a...
Success, so it's...
Oh. We're thinking of this the wrong way.
Yeah, it's saved on the Sacred Flame.
That means he also has 7 more HP.
Yeah, it shouldn't have done any damage. Didn't roll any damage for it. It just rolled the saving throw.
No, I meant from Toll the Dead earlier. We had the same...
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's back at full.
Alright. So I can find him on this list here. Where are you? Here you are. Alright.
Alright, sword moves 20. And takes a swing.
Spectral sword floats in the foyer and swings at him, misses. Kind of hits one of the crates next to him. Alright, is Rixori doing anything else?
She's going to burn a little bit more of her movement, step back, and that ends her turn.
Alright, so you hear him kicking crates in there. And as he does so, you would have partial cover with that, and he's fine with that. Actually, no, he can't do that because he kicked all those crates. So, as he kicks these crates open, you see all these little chocolate candies spill out, almost like little hard-shell chocolate candies, kind of like M&Ms, just start skittering about the floor. Then, slowly, they start to move, but not like the gumdrops. They start to congregate and just form this mass. Almost like the T-1000 in Terminator 2. They just start piling together, taking its shape. And as they do, you see not one, not 2, not 3, but 5 of these chocolate candy creatures start to stand in the foyer. Humanoid shapes, two legs, torso, 2 arms, just balled up in chocolate candy fists, and an outline of what could be a head, just not sure what it uses for eyes.
That's not disconcerting at all.
And that
We're gonna have to eat our way out of this one again. Get me the silverware.
Great. I'll draw their fire so you can come up from behind. 5,
You know, that's not the first time you.
10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to... You can attack, then finish your movement, right?
Yeah.
In front of me? Okay.
Yeah, you can split your movement up in any one of your actions.
She's going to, as she dodges past the gumdrops, she... Can't
That's
believe I
silly.
said those fucking words. She's gonna...
Told you it was going to be
she's
weird
gonna-
today.
She's gonna hit it with Booming Blade. By swiping at it with Discord.
All right. You hit the swarm of gumdrops.
And it now has Booming Blade attached to it. Swarm of gumdrops. There it is.
You never thought you'd cast Bowie Blade on Candy before.
Never thought I would cast Booming Blade on Candy. So now it has Booming Blade on it. And then she's going to keep going. I don't know if the gumdrops get an attack of opportunity. I can't ever remember how swarms work.
This one does not on that.
Okay, so, and she's gonna stop right here at 40 and be done.
Okay. Actually, wait. As you move past that other armor statue, the suit of armor reaches out and tries to grab you.
Okay.
So I want you to make an acrobatics check, and it's going to try to make a, or it's going to try to make a athletics to restrain you here.
Okay, this is acrobatics. I do have advantage on this.
Yeah, it's not restraining you.
Okay.
It rolled a 2. It's not restraining you. Missed 21. So yeah,
Gotcha.
You just see the suit of armor, just kind of the arms flail out as they try to grab you, and you just twirl and dance your way using your training, your martial training to avoid the limbs. Now you can pass through the tree token spot. That is that shimmering light, that light tree. So it's not actually a physical object.
This is the furthest I can move.
Okay. I'm just saying for your next turn, just so you're aware of that, just a reminder.
Gotcha. Yeah, she ran out here because I figure because I can shield myself if I'm attacked. So the idea is she can absorb potentially easier than Rixori. She has a better armor class than Rixori, so she wanted to draw. And also, but now those gumdrops can't advance on Rixori without getting damaged.
Well, they're moving, so let's pop that booming blade. Let's see.
I don't know why it rolled twice. That's funky. That should only be 4 damage. I do not know why it added another die.
Not sure on that, but that's okay. Alright. So, with that, Rixori, the gumdrops are still advancing in your position. Almost like little soldiers. They're just marching along the ground.
Go away.
And it is your turn.
She really wishes she would have brought her weapon.
Althea did. You could have. She wouldn't have done that.
Well, her weapon is not exactly sociable or easy to conceal. But it's fine. I will come for you, Gumdrops, in a moment. Bonus action, I guess, swing at the chocolate candy monster number 2.
Okay. If anything, you'll always remember this adventure.
Now my spectral weapon's chocolatey.
All right, so it strikes the monster, the thin candy shells, some of them crack. Roll the damage. Okay, so you break some of the thin candy shells. The little bits of them just kind of move about and shift as the blade passes through it. But it's still very much capable of movement. It's still held together very well. Whatever dark magics are affecting this, I guess you could call it dark chocolate now. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting round of combat.
I am going to Toll the Dead, and since I finally have 2 enemies within range, I'm going to Death Domain Reaper it, so I can hit 2 targets with a cantrip.
Okay.
Well, with the Necromantic cantrip, which is like... Alright, he saves. He fails, though!
Alright.
Take this, chocolate.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Evil corruption. We want Skittles.
Alright, so yeah, you see more of the thin candy shells start to crack in pieces, exposing some of the delicious chocolate within, as the candies still continue to move about in their humanoid-like form. They don't say a word as they get blasted by the spell. Just hear the rattling of the thin candy shells. Okay, as you cross by that, you're gonna need to make a acrobatics or athletics, as the suit armor is gonna try to grab you.
I'm gonna athletics and just rip my way through.
Never mind.
There's no point, but you know what? You know what? Let's just roll it anyway. 17.
Yeah. Wow, another 2 for the statues, for the armors. That's fantastic.
Where is it? Is it like in relation to Rixori? Yeah.
It's right to the right of her. It's that suit of armor right there. So the arms just started flailing out as she passed by it. It was trying to grab her.
Would I be outside of its range here, or should I use my last 5 feet of movement to...
You'd still be within its range.
I'm just going to use the last 5 and move over then.
Hey, Althea.
Hello.
Okay, Althea.
Sadly,
Yeah.
I can't zoom out on this map anymore.
I take it back. I do not like your family holidays. They are way too much like the last couple winter solstices I've been with my temple.
Well, I was going to say, this is the first time anything...
Your mic cut out.
Hey, this is the most exciting winter solstice my family has ever had. Most of the time, the most danger you're in is when your cheeks are about to get pinched off.
Your family's weird. I mean, most time with mine, it's just more that they're going to cut them off. But pinching?
It's a figure of speech.
No, it's pretty accurate. See, we actually have a ceremonial dagger.
Less talky, more fighty.
All right. So now the thin candy shell monsters are going to start moving about. I'm hoping this doesn't. There we go. Hate it when it does that. Give me a sec.
Can we just like temporarily move the tree away?
No, it's fine. It's just it went in between the grids instead of the square that it was supposed to be on.
I gotcha.
Okay, and actually, you know what? It's gonna double move to get over to you. Goddamn tree. There we go. Alright, and the next one. Now this one is going to attack, and it's going to attack Althaea.
Okie day.
So it swings out with its candy fist and hits with a 22. Unless...
You haven't seen how hard these things hit. I'm gonna shield.
Okay.
So armor class goes to 20. Oh no! Actually, wait a minute. I may not shield.
No, I did the math. You don't want to shield here.
Yeah, I do with that would it would hit me even if I shielded.
All right.
Not wearing my armor.
Why is it not doing that damage?
I can apply it.
Yeah, I
on
got
my
it.
end. Okay.
I just got to drag the result onto your token and it applies it, so it's not that big of a deal. All right. It looks like I was throwing it in chat, not onto your token. That's all that thing is going to do. And next one here. This one is going to attack Rixori with a 21 to hit. Man, these things, the thin candy shells are just getting past your armor.
I have 9 for an AC. It doesn't take much.
Okay then, it's getting in all your nooks and crannies, and as it does so,
I should have got better, fancier dress.
3 damage as you're slapped across the face with M&Ms. The other candy monster here. It's gonna move down to Althaea. Try to attack her. An 18.
That one I will shield. That brings my armor class to a 21.
All right, so this candy fist comes launching toward Althea's face, and all of a sudden this glowing, shimmering shield appears. The candy just kind of splays out, almost like somebody threw a bag of candy at you, then they start to reform on this thing's arm. Sorry, are you still connected?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, looks like I got a message saying that you lost connection and it was waiting for you.
Yeah, I just said host connection lost, reconnecting to host.
Okay, yeah, just saying you're reconnecting here, so just let me know when it says you're connected back or...
Yeah, if you want to keep swinging, I'll catch up.
All right,
Because I see it actually doing stuff.
Okay, good. Alright, so this one's also gonna swing at Althaea and miss with a 14. So this one, she was ready for the candy assault. The elf here is gonna move 10, 15, 20. He's gonna go behind this. And he's going to fire a bow. Another candy cane. In fact, this one he is going to fire it at Rixori. And hits with a 22. And does 9 damage to Rixori.
Ow. That's a good hit.
And that's going to end his turn. Althaea.
Althea is dropping into a ready stance. Althea is dropping into a ready stance. She's going to yell to Rixori, Rixori, I need you to step back! And I'm going to ready an action to cast... I'm going to ready an action to cast Sword Burst as soon as Rixori is not in range.
Okay.
If I move, they're going to take a lot of hits. It's probably easier if you Sword Burst me.
Alright, she'll Sword Burst then. She'll just Sword Burst. And so... I don't know how to do an area... I forgot how to do an area effect.
So... I want to say if you hold down Control, you can select multiples?
Yeah, I can select them all manually.
Yeah, and then once they're all selected, then apply your spell, and it'll do all the 2 hits or the saving throws all at the same time.
And I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check and see if I can control this. Each creature. Damn. Sorry, Rixori.
It's fine. 1, 2, 3, 5 me.
And then it's just... DC should be higher than that. Anyway, we'll find out.
There you go.
Okay, so which ones failed is the ones I need to know.
Everybody failed but 1.
Yeah, if it's got a damage applier to it, if you roll it, all the ones that failed, it should automatically apply.
Okay. Ah.
All right. Well,
So you see this candy kind of spread out a little bit. A few of the candy bits scatter on the floor, but then they start to roll back towards their host.
that sucks.
Yeah, that really blows. That's all I can do.
That means 1 gets to avoid my...
At least I hit them all, just about. Kind of was hoping to roll a 6, but that would have sucked for Rixori too, so... Does me just damaging them do anything for you?
Yes, it does. It changes the damage for total of dead from a D8 to a D12.
See, there you go.
There you go.
But you didn't hit the one next to it, so I can't twin it.
Didn't I hit, like... Okay, I'm not sure how
Oh, wait,
much
it's
did
not an attack roll. It's not an attack roll. Never mind, we're good.
All right.
It just means 1's not going to take as much damage.
And the gumdrops continue their march.
Then hey, my 0th level spell wasn't wasted.
Speaking of hopefully not wasted talent, Rixori, you're up.
Alrighty, first thing I'm going to do is a bonus action to Second Wind.
Okay. Very good Second Wind. 10 points back.
It's okay. It's okay, Althea. I've got this. I'm not dead yet.
She's plucking shards of candy shell out of her skin and hair.
And then she's going to Toll the Dead 5 and 1.
Dude, you can Toll the Dead, all of them?
2 targets.
Oh, okay.
They have to be standing next to each other, and they have to be within the spell's range. And it has to be one of the 2 necrotic cantrips. There's only 2 in the entire game.
Nice.
All right.
So...
All right.
Alright,
so
now I have to manually do the damage because 1 isn't injured so he doesn't take the full damage. No, 5. There we go.
All right. So one of the monsters, the shells are all starting to get cracked and flattened a little bit from all these unholy energies reeking through it. The candies start to rattle as the energies pass through it.
That will end my turn.
All right. Let's see here. Alright, so this one's going to attack Rixori. And hits with a 17. Good lord. Good lord. 7 damage. The candies fly in your face. It's going to stay there. So the one here is going to attack Althaea. And it is going to miss Althaea. This next one here is going to attack Rixori. Swings out with a 20. Good God. Not a natural, though. Modified. Wow. Max damage again. Alright, Rixori's getting slapped a little bit. This next one here is attacking Althaea.
I wish I had prepared Burning Hands.
Oh, that almost went on the 20. But it missed with a 5. Just like stayed on that 20 for like a second and then the dice moved. And this one's also going to attack Althaea. And is going to miss. Wow. Althea's got the moves. She moves like Jagger.
Okay, dodge, duck, weave, dodge, duck, weave, parry, thrust.
My dress is ruined.
Mine's still in fairly good shape, actually. Woohoo!
Alright. And let's see something on this. Oh yeah. He can still take a pot shot. And he's going to do so on Rixori. For 6. Alright, Althaea.
Yikes. Okay, Althaea is going to... Let's cast on itself. Damn, I wish I could give these to Rixori.
Rixori, remember, you still got those potions, too.
Granted, this is true. I just remembered to click Blade Song. I didn't click it before. I mean, it was been active this whole time, so it doesn't matter. Althaea is going to lash out at, I think the one that has been attacking Rixori. She's going to go ahead and lash out at Candy Monster 3 with Discord.
Leave the full heal one for me. I'm about ready to start doing other stuff.
Okay, leave the full healed one for you?
Yes.
Okay, then. She will lash out then at Candy Monster 1.
Okay.
As soon as I can find where I put Discord at. There we go.
And she's going to hit with a 15. Discord's blinding light comes out, slashes through the delicious candy chocolates, dealing 6 damage to the monster.
as a bonus action, she's going to lash out with Shroud toward. For some reason, I can't select it.
You talking about the one that's right above? Let me.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. He's still gonna be in that corner. I'm just moving him over.
Wow, I hit it somehow.
Yeah, these are candy monsters. These are not agile pumas.
For 2 more damage to it, and that is my action.
All right. And he's not doing anything yet. Gumdrops. Shadooby dooby doo. That ends the Gumdrop's turn. Rixori, you're up.
Alrighty, Rixori is
Not like this. Not like this.
is going to grab the fully healed candy monster and inflict wounds on him.
Okay. Well, a 24 is definitely going to hit it. Now, when you try to grab it, it's like the candies are fluid, like they're moving around, almost like a swarm would. But you put your hands inside of it where the candies are flowing over your fingers, and you release the negative energy into it.
I'm going to pump all the dark energy into it. And I'm going to channel Divinity, Touch of Death. It takes an additional 11 points of damage.
All
Necrotic.
right. Let me do this here. That was number 3.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That has been applied.
Okay, Althea, I really thought that would do a lot more than don't have any of my other cures other than my full action.
Was that your bonus action? The touch
No,
of?
no.
Because I was gonna. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So I still have a bonus action.
Because I know your sword's just been kind of like chilling out up there.
Yeah, because I've been using my other actions to do different things.
Okay, I thought that was a bonus action to use the sword.
It is. I've been using my bonus action to heal myself to not die. Spiritual weapon, take a swing on Candy Monster 5.
Well, yeah, you're fine. He's actually in the corner. The other corner. I just have him. No, you're fine. The sword has enough movement.
I'll move. He can hit either square from here.
There you go.
And hopefully this can. That ends my turn.
All right, the candies are badly damaged on that one. They're all flattened and cracked. The chocolate's starting to kind of crumble and melt. All right, so this one is going to swing out on the Rixori and get a natural 1. Rixori dodges that one. It's just the candy just clumsily swings and hits the other candy monster, and they both just kind of intertwine for a moment and then reform back into original spots. This one is attacking Althaea. We'll hit with an 18 unless Althaea.
Yeah, I'm going to drop another shield because I don't want to get beaten down here. It'll be useful. So yeah, my armor class goes to 21.
21. All right. Let's see. This one is attacking Rixori and hits with 11. So another candy fist comes at Rixori's face for 4 damage. She's got M&M's stuck to the side of her face. She can feel them kind of crawling on her skin. This one's attacking Althaea and rolls a 5. This one, number 5, is also going to attack Althaea.
That'll hit.
22. And rolls 2 damage. So You barely get hit by M&Ms in the back of your head. You're dodging all these other strikes, and you just feel like an M&M pop you in the back of the head. It's more insulting than painful. Alright, he is going to move over here. Actually, yeah, he's going to move over here. Alright, he is going to take a shot at Althaea, who seems to be magically guarded. And he's going to get a 6. So the blinding light of the tree is throwing his shots off. The bolt just flies. The peppermint bolt just flies right over everything. He hits the other wall, shatters. It's delicious peppermint all over the floor.
Okay, Althea is going to lash out with Discord toward Candy Monster 3.
3. Okay.
I think it might be better to take out the gun drops out there.
I don't think I can take the gumdrops out in one attack, or I totally would.
Death by gumdrops.
Ho!
They were magically delicious. Uh-oh! Whoa! Okay.
I critted on it.
Yeah. Holy smokes. Alright. So I was on 3. So 3. You see Althea just lash out with Discord, coming straight down. As she does, the candy just falls to the ground, just scattering about the foyer. You just hear the rattling of because all the candy shells just scatter about.
And in one motion, just without even stopping, she's just going to turn around and stab as a bonus action Candy Monster 5 with Shroud in like a backhanded kind of stab.
Well, it will hit. So we got a 12. And
that was the wrong damage, unfortunately. That was the wrong. That was Discord.
hang on. Let me.
Do you deal 1 point of damage at least?
Yeah, a minimum of 2.
It dies.
Okay.
Okay.
Because 7 you did 7 damage to it and then exceeded by 6.
Yeah, because Shroud is a +1 dagger, so 1d4 +1, so minimum 2.
All right, again, another one of these things just scatter about the floor.
And that's gonna be it. Actually, I'll risk the attack of op. I don't want us being grouped up here like this. It's not working for us that well. So Candy Monster 1 is going to get an attack of op, as well as the gumdrops don't get an attack of op. Actually, no, I don't want to move there because that's close to the armor. Shite. Okay.
It's fine. This position works. We'll make it work.
Yeah. So no, I won't be moving. That'll be it for me.
All right. The gumdrops go. Do. And they go into Rixori's space here. I'm just going to move them out the way here. But they are in Rixori's space. And as they are in Rixori's space... Just want to... Alright, so it is going to try to attack Rixori here. This is going to be interesting. Oh, no! Alright, so... Oh, God. Alright, so as they kind of start crawling on you, you kind of feel them bite into you, and then to your horror, 4 of them burrow into your skin. And you are going to... Let's see...
It didn't apply the damage.
The gumdrops are eating you.
Pretty much, from the inside out. So at the start of your next turn, you're going to start taking some damage per one that's inside of you. So there's 4 of them inside of you right now.
Oh, that wasn't damage. That was how many got in.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it didn't apply the damage, so...
Well, it's
It was
the
a
start of your
damage.
next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just them burrowing. They didn't... Okay.
Yeah. So you got some of them inside of you right now.
Well, it's my turn, so...
And 4d6.
Ow!
I'm dead. I mean, roll the dice, but I'm dead.
Are you dead or down?
Not dead. Not dead, just downed.
Yeah. So 13 damage.
Yeah, that ends my turn.
And the sword. I'm just gonna make that invisible here. Boop. Rixori falls down. Alright. So this thing is going to attack Althaea. And will miss. The other monster is going to swing at Althaea. Again, all these candy fists coming left and right. Missing Althaea as she quickly ducks, dodge, almost doing a matrix, bending her back, but her feet are still firmly planted on the ground. Now this one will hit her.
No, because I still have an AC of 21.
Was that until the end of your turn?
It's until the start of my next turn.
Okay. And let's see. He is gonna.
Wouldn't it... Yeah, it would be down at this point.
Oh, because I didn't move. Never mind, I didn't move. I'll blow a slot for it.
Okay. So the hunched elf here is going to shoot at Althaea with a peppermint stick.
That'll still hit.
Jeez, really? All right. So 9 damage for the peppermint, just gets lodged right into your thigh. Burns quite badly.
I got you.
But it is.
This
your
is
turn.
this is a really bad spot for Althaea. Althaea is going to blow a second level spell slot to get to get blur up. And so yeah, nice.
Okay, good. It's got the effect on you.
And then, in order to draw at least some of these off of Rixori,
Drawing them off doesn't have any impact here.
or just to get the hell away from the gumdrops. 5. And so, all of those guys are going to get attacks of op.
Well, okay, you're still moving. Gotcha. All right, yeah. So they're gonna get their little swings in. Just gonna get this really quick. Miss, good. Fantastic. And come on, attack roll. Woo! So yeah, all of them miss. You're blurred. They're not able to discern where exactly you're at as you quickly move away from those killer gumdrops.
Right. I'm actually gonna go back 1 square to 25, 30, 35, 40. I believe that's my movement right now. Yes, we'll blade dancing. And so that's my movement for now. I just wanted to get out of that really bad spot. Done.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll take off a second little spell slot if I haven't already done so. I did. Good.
And the gumdrops. Continue on. And Rixori makes her first death saving throw.
Gumdrops are eating her.
They probably stopped when it moved away from you.
Well, she's got
Well,
ones
the
that are
bird
inside of her.
Oh.
I just want to read the fine print on this. Oh, okay. So actually, Rixori is going to be actually dead. If a target infested ends its turn with 0 hit points, it dies as they burrow into the heart and kill it.
Well,
I
that's
got ate by candy.
unfortunate. Thank God this isn't fully canon.
See if I come visit your family again.
We'll get you patched up and resurrected. It's the miracle of Christmas.
Yes, God bless us, everyone. Alright, so I'm going to pull up Rixori's sheet here. And we're going to put... Alright.
Those gumdrops are beefy shit.
Well, there's a reason why they barely move.
Yeah, now I know. But she's gonna be Rixori!
Don't worry, you'll be with me soon.
And it misses.
I should have gotten blurred
Now-
up earlier.
One of the things you see up there is, by the way, Althea, you see that hunched elf over there, but you also see Arister up on top, and he's got a arcane staff in his hands.
Mhm.
And it looks like he's trying to create some kind of portal. From what it appears to be, it looks like he's trying to bring the entire house into the Fey realm.
Well, Arister's kind of a dick now, isn't he? Is he on the map for a target location?
Oh yeah, he's on the map. He's the A. Can you not see him? He's
Okay, now I see him.
Yes. Yeah, scan over here just so our viewers can see him. I can't zoom out on the map any further, sadly.
Unfortunately, I have to deal with all of his minions before I can go for him. I gotta remember what potions I have, because they're not actually on my...
Rixori has all the potions.
I'm gonna have to kill these guys and take potions off of you.
Actually, you know what this one's going to do? This one's going to scout down, and the M&Ms are going to start tearing apart at Rixori. Just so she can be fully eaten by candy.
Yay.
Not my gumdrop buttons.
And man, that spell is saving you so much.
Yeah, I should have gotten it up earlier. Because I'm down to only one first level spell slot and one second level spell slot. But then again, I've been sitting here like face tanking everything.
Well, that's why I popped protection from evil and good. It just doesn't really matter so much when...
That saved
One of those
you.
was a 20, wasn't it?
Yes, yes it was. Dropped 20. So yeah, the blur just, this one candy cane looks like it went through one of the image's heads, just temple to temple, and you hear the thing just kind of cursing. All right, Rixori, it's your turn, madam.
Althea.
Althea,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, going to lash out toward Chocolate Candy Monster 1, with Discord. Shit.
That will hit. 21 is going to hit that for 5 damage.
And follow it up with a shot from Shroud.
So Discord comes screaming through, and Shroud! The Shroud comes through. Discord is letting you down here.
Discord maybe let me a little down, but let's see if Shroud can seal the deal. Not quite sealing the deal.
But dealing a lot of damage on that.
And which point
8
I
damage
am
is
gonna.
nothing to sneeze at.
This is true. I am actually going to risk the critical the attack of opportunity to move up.
Okay. Let's see. That's the gumdrops.
And let's see if the first one hits me, because that'll depend if I keep moving.
Okay. Nope, doesn't hit you.
Alright. Second one's going to get a shot at me.
Okay. And will not hit you as well with a 10.
And the reason I'm moving there is because there's a wall, and it'll at least stop me from getting pot-shotted.
Fair enough. Yes, cover is always a very good thing.
And that's going to be it for me. It also gets me away from the gumdrops of doom.
The gumdrops are the scariest thing in this encounter.
No shit. I've already gotten one friend killed by them.
And they're just inching their way on the floor. Just these little gumdrops slowly rolling. You're going to have nightmares of gumdrops. Okay. Now. Alright. One is going to move up here and try to swing at you. It's going to make a wild haymaker style punch. And it's going to miss with a 13. Its companion, its compatriot, is going to finish devouring on poor little Rixori.
Don't worry, Rixori. I'll get a wish spell or something later.
And it's
Miracle of Solstice?
You can almost hear Rixori just mumbling something under her breath under your head. And 11 is not going to hit you. Fantastic. And he's got problems. Alright. You can't get a clear shot on you right now.
Alright. Althaea is going to attack she's gonna whip out Discord and have Discord trailing green flames. As she's going to cast Green Flame Blade, she's gonna attack Chocolate Monster 2 with Discord.
Okay. That will hit. 21 is gonna slice that thing, so...
Oh my god, I'm rolling crap damage. However, the fire is going to jump from Candy Monster 2 and inflict 3 fire damage on Candy Monster 1 as soon as I pull up Flame Blade. Oh wow, my damage is actually... No, it has not gone up. That is not correct. I'm not level 5 yet. I do not know why it is doing that.
There you go. Another pile of candy just scatters across the floor as they just roll about.
And she is going to risk an attack of op from the one from Candy Monster 4.
Okay, getting his attack here. And we'll miss.
And Candy Monster 2 as well.
And we'll definitely miss with a 1. So all these clumsy strikes flying at you.
Six and 7. Yeah, she's just basically dancing around to make space and distance. That's it.
All right. And the gumdrops will continue their march. They'll come charging at you and swing and miss with 7 of the... Again, they keep attacking your blurred visions, your blurred selves. You now have a new favorite spell there.
Oh, no, I love Blur. I just normally don't have the action to cast it.
Oh! They did drop a 20.
Yeah, yeah, I'll drop my last first level spell slot, shield that.
Okay.
I still have a second level spell slot.
21. And he's gonna come on out here and fire at you. Die! Double force, fuck. Nope.
Yeah, I figured it was worth spending the action just because of he was going to get a shot, and also I can use my second level spell shot slot for one more shield if I have to. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Booming Blade on Candy Monster 2 by slicing with Discord.
All right. That will hit it with a 17. Discord slices through the candy, dealing 9 damage. It's looking in pretty bad shape.
Then it now has Booming Blade on it. I'm going to let it take an attack of op on me.
Okay. And we'll miss with an 8.
And 15. I'm not giving the other one an attack of op, because I don't think gumdrops can move that far, to be honest.
You've only seen them move about 2 squares.
Yeah, so I think it might be able to get... Well, it's kind of between squares, so I don't really know where it is.
It would get. It would be able to get. It's on the square that's right under the tree, so it wouldn't reach you, but it would be right next to your square.
Yeah, okay, in that case, she'll go up here, and at least then I'll be safe from gumdrops. And that's gonna be
another
it.
phrase you don't expect to say.
That's gonna be it for me. No, that is not gonna be it for me. Because this was my 10th round. I will activate Blade Song as a bonus action again, because it just ended.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
All right. And the gumdrops will move. And... Alright, so this one's moving. Pop it.
Alright.
There you go. So it comes rushing at you, and as it does so, this tidal wave of chocolate candy comes flying over you, rains down upon you, and scatters across the floor, going all the way to the wall.
Yay!
And this one here will attack. And will miss. Alright, and he's fine right here. He's going to fire another peppermint stick at you. Yeah, that was 18. A good drop.
Like I said, I've got 1 second level spell slot. I can theoretically shield. I don't want to have to drop a second level spell slot, but...
Alright, well...
If I have to, I have to.
It is your turn.
Yep.
Gumdrops do approach.
Althaea, her weapon trailing green fire, is going to take a swing at Candy Monster 4 with Discord.
24. Holy shit. That's good. Wow, and max damage on it. Very nice.
And then the fire is going to jump off of...
Melted gumdrops.
Yep, the fire is going to jump off of that and to the gumdrops.
All right. See some of the
Then
gumdrops pop, and there's little gooey, bubbling piles of gumdrops.
yep, Candy Monster 4 is going to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, 4. Where you at? And a 2 and a 1.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I don't know if these things down there are animated, but I don't want to risk getting attacked by them. So
They're just really to block the squares. They're that from the beginning of the map. That's all there were. Was just,
okay.
So you don't think there's other places to explore here? It's
Gotcha.
just these areas. So I will again just reiterate. They're not a hazard.
Okay, and she's just going to move there, and that's going to be it for her this turn.
Okay. And he's still trying to kill everybody. The gumdrops will move again. Alright, and we'll take a swing at Althaea.
I know I have more attacks incoming. Last spell slot goes to shield.
Okay. Alright, so you have a 20 AC. That's all that one can do. It's gonna move up here. Fire. Oh!
Blur, I love you dearly.
That's at least 3 crits that it negated.
Yeah, no, Blur is totally worth it. Alright, Althea is going to... that's what Althea is saying. Althea is gonna go ahead and, she's gonna Booming Blade into Candy Monster 4.
On Brett said she's right next to Rixori, who's got all those potions.
Yeah.
Oh! Nat 20!
I think Candy Monster 4 is about to have a very bad day.
No, Rixori, yeah, because she's getting showered in more candy.
So, well, Booming Blade really isn't necessary now. If that corpse moves, it's not going to have a happy day.
Well, it scatters all over the place, so Rixori is just covered in chocolate candies. Let's get rid of this.
Unfortunately, I think probably grabbing something off of Rixori is not my interaction for the turn. I think that's probably a standard.
Correct, because you'd have to grab the potions.
So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I'm going to end it there because I'm still safely away from Swarm of Gumdrops.
It's so weird just hearing that. We're avoiding the gumdrops at all costs. Let's see. Get this here. Poor gumdrops. They never get any love.
I think Althea's been doing really good this fight, given, she didn't have her armor on, but she's blown through all of her spells.
I think that was the thing that really hurt Rixori, was just she was in a nice, pretty dress instead of her cleric's vestments.
Rixori isn't built for fighting without her armor. She has an 8 dex. So all my defensive spells don't matter when pretty much anything hits me.
Who do you think she is? Queen Rixori?
To be fair, she has her very fancy armor too.
Well, he fires and misses on that. He is going to over here. All right, Althaea, it is your turn.
Althea is going to firebolt the gumdrops.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Wow. Okay, 23. And yes, the gumdrops just start exploding, and all this gooey peppermint spice candy just goes all over Rixori. She is just covered in melted chocolate, melted gumdrops, peppermint shards. This is not
okay.
Go ahead.
I can't remember what potions Rixori had.
She had a bunch of healing potions.
Bunch of healing potions.
Yeah,
well,
she
as
had
useful as those.
She had a greater healing and 4 healing potions.
As great as those would be, I don't think they're going to help me right now. So, you said it's an acrobatics check to run past these guys?
Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer to roll.
So that's
no, it's if they roll higher than a 2. Well, okay, so they did roll higher than a 2.
Okay, and I get to roll, and fortunately I do have advantage on this, which is great. Does 16 do it?
Oh yeah, you beat him with a 16.
Okay, so that's 3, that's 15.
That starts
20.
grabbing at you, the fingers grab part of your cloak, start tugging on it, but you tug back and get out of there before the rest of the hands can grab you.
25, 30, 35, 40, and that's my maximum movement. Done.
Alright. Why isn't it showing? There we go. And again, don't worry about the green square in the upper left. That's just to make the grid.
Yeah, no, I got you.
It's also for those watching, because they may not be aware of that for the fantasy grounds. Alright, so that's Althea. Alright, so Arister's there. And you see him just focusing with the arcane energies here. You! I will tear this family apart. I will not be made a mockery, not by any of you ever again.
Well, I got news for you. The family isn't the person who made you a mockery. You did that all yourself.
Alright, so on that note, he points the staff over at you, and a line of lightning comes shooting out of it.
Okie dokie.
And this should auto roll the dex for you. Alright, so you made the saving throw. And
Woot. Hey, it even got my advantage.
yeah,
Nice.
so that's one of the things I love about the fantasy grounds. It keeps track of it. When it works, it's beautiful. All right.
Wow, you just barely made that concentration check.
Yeah. and he's just kind of cursing on this. All right.
Look at his damage too. I mean, 1, 1, 2, and a 4.
Fair. All right. So he is going to move up here and fire peppermint to the eye. Let's see if you can do it. Oh, another 20 negated. This
Yeah,
guy wants the booty.
This time.
Holy crap. Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this drops me.
Well, let's see.
Does not drop me.
Nice.
I'm at
You've got,
2.
All right, Althea.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's getting a blender.
He's getting a blender. All right.
If I'm gonna die, I'm at least taking somebody with me.
Okay, who are you attacking?
Aristar.
Okay.
And that's where my luck ran out. Yep.
Oh, yeah. It ran out pretty hard right there.
And that's it for me.
All right. Now, let's see.
Magic missile.
Yeah, the magic missile kills me at this point.
All right.
I don't care if I died. I did a damn good show.
Yeah, you did. So he's gonna just try to strike you with the staff here.
That'll do it.
Wow. Okay, and this is probably gonna drop you here. Yep.
Max damage. Or not max, not quite. Oh yeah, no, his plus alone would have done it.
So, all right.
And thus ends the interlude.
Christmas wasn't saved.
Well, I mean, we knew it was a doom because Rixori was there, you know.
I mean, hell, I did really damn good considering.
Sadly, there's not much I can do when came in without my armor.
No, I totally should have grabbed those potions off. But it wouldn't have mattered. It honestly, even with the potions, it wouldn't have mattered.
A greater healing potion probably would have tipped it.
No, it wouldn't have. You know why?
Hmm.
Only had 2 more rounds of blur left.
True, but the odds still would have been slightly better for you.
I still would have been fighting both of them. That would have been it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have mattered because it would have taken me 1 round to get them off, 1 round to eat them, and then I wouldn't have had blur. I would have been getting shot the entire time coming through.
True, that crit would have hit you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way.
Oh, yeah, the spear also critted too. Yeah, blurred.
So, Arister and the last guy over there, they only had about 12 HP. And you just barely missed Arister, by the way. Like, if you had one higher, you would have hit him.
If I could have used inspiration, I totally would have used inspiration right there.
And that's the sound of you going.
Thanks for the follow.
Yeah, if I could have used inspiration, that's where I would have blown it right there.
But yes, so sadly, Christmas got canceled.
Yep, there was no joy in Christmas.
Yep.
I put up a damn good fight though.
Indeed.
I mean, how many things did Althaea kill?
A lot. So what'd you think of the candy creatures?
I like the candy. I think the gumdrops were a little bit kind of powerful, but it was still fun.
It's only because there's a D4 of them go into, and depending on how many went in, there's a D6 damage, and it rolled a 4. Yeah. So she got the worst that it could possibly be, and she was already hurt.
And there was nothing more I could have done. Like I literally did the best. I should have, to be honest, I should have dropped the blur earlier.
Yeah, that blur really turned the tide of the fight for most of this. It was amazing.
Yeah. I should have dropped the blur earlier. Now the great thing is we knew going into this wasn't canon, so it didn't matter if we died or not.
I mean, you still could have kept some stuff from canon with.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens. It was 2 people. It was a pretty big encounter. We started without our armor on. I mean, hell, if I'd had my armor on, it would have changed this whole scenario.
Same, just because my AC would have gone from 9 to 19.
Yeah,
and I would have
and
kept disadvantage.
if I'd had my armor on, like anything below a 19 wouldn't have hit.
Rixori isn't going to be going outside anymore without it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you know, you're not going to have any recollection of this. This was just a one-shot, little side story about the winter solstice, and basically taking one of the Hallmark Christmas movie staples, where somebody's related to, Santa Claus kind of thing, and just having fun with it.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that. That SNL skit that they did last week. Where they did an SNL skit that was literally, it was like every Hallmark Christmas movie ever.
I did not see that. I wish I would have known about that.
Oh, it is so damn funny because they're it's like you got to go look it up. That's all I can say. It is damn funny. It's not as funny as the Stephen Colbert. It's not as funny as the Stephen Colbert bit he did with Jodie Foster, but which if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. They do a kind of Donald Trump skit where they're like they do a Donald Trump skit where it's like Stephen Colbert is playing the role of Hannibal Lecter, and of course Jodie Foster is doing Clarice, and it's so damn funny. It's like she shows up and she's like, "I need your help." Yes, it's about Trump. Tell me what you have. And she goes on this like 5-minute list of the stuff that they've got. He's like, "You have all of that? The hell do you need me for?" And she's like, "Well, I just figured it was still safer in there with you."
Wow.
And he's, as Lecter's like, you realize I eat people. She's like, "Yeah, I figured everyone's got a hobby." He goes, would you mind if I ate your kidney with some fava beans? She thinks about it. I mean, yeah, I've got two. It's damn funny. The SNL thing was hilarious because they just like, I remember one of the lines. It's like, after she gets amnesia, she meets the man of her dreams, who's also a prince. In Christmas Prince, who's also Santa. It's so hilarious. You need to check it out. It's just damn funny. No, it was really fun. Like I said, wish I could have saved Christmas, but I tried. I did damn well. For my luck just had to run out at the end there. Like,
when the most feared creature in all the encounter were sentient gumdrop, a swarm of sentient gumdrops, that in itself is amazing.
That sentient swarm. I'm gonna start using Blur more often to start battles.
Yes, you do. Holy crap!
I really didn't. I mean, I knew it was pretty good, but it's like every time I've used it up until now, like I immediately got hit and lost it right after I cast it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If there's something that looks like it could be, a heavy hitter or something that just has a real high bonus to hit, it's kind of a gamble, especially if something, let's say a giant or something. That's going to probably bring it down because they're most likely going to hit you and they're going to do enough damage where it's going to mess up your concentration. For things like this, this definitely turned the tide in your favor.
Yeah. I mean, it's odd because I would have thought Mirror Image, which I could have done that. I could have cast Blur and then got Mirror Image out. But part of that was sort of me. I would have done it, but I thought Rixori was still alive. I didn't know she was immediately dead, so I was going to try to dance around and get back around to her and healing potion her. That was my plan, but she was after I'd moved, and if I had kind of known, it would have slightly changed what I did, but...
Oh, no, because I would have instantly died right afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but remember, when I moved, I didn't know you were dead. when I started, and I blew another shield because of what I did. I don't think it would have changed anything. So it really didn't matter. That was really fun. I mean, my luck held. I know the only reason I survived. Now, if I had my armor, no. If I had my armor on, this we would have ruffle stomped. Because I only think like one or two things would have hit me.
Yeah, these things weren't too hard to hit. To be hit themselves. They just had a bunch of HP.
Yeah, like I mean, those 20s would have been hitting because like my armor class is like a 19. I don't get to keep the ring. That's kind of sad, but at least I had fun. I got to do something. And it was still fun. It was great seeing like how that spell actually works in practice. I'm a little annoyed. I'm a little annoyed at myself because I really don't need Shadow Blade. I'm kind of disappointed that I took it almost. Almost. Being the operative word there. Because I really should have, I don't know, Shadow Blade, if I had whipped out Shadow Blade, it might have made a big difference. Just because Shadow Blade hits, as an offhand weapon, Shadow Blade hits stupid hard. Have you seen the damage on that thing offhand? It's a 2d8 finesse weapon.
Yeah, that's pretty potent.
Yeah. I mean, it is concentration, so, there's that. But I haven't really had the opportunity to really whip it out yet. I was going to use it when Discord was missing, because it's only a bonus action to cast it. But it's cool. And next level is going to be a lot of fun for me. I'm really looking forward to level 5. And again, David, I am sorry for missing Friday sessions. Stuff kept coming
Don't
up.
worry about it. You'll get it next time. Speaking of, we're going to have the schedules for the games are still going to be same thing next Friday. We'll have the Lords of the Sea at 7 p.m. Central. And, of course, the next chapter in the Tal'Dorei adventure, the Tales of Exandria, at 1 p.m. Central. So this was in the Tal'Dorei setting. This was a one-shot Christmas special starring Rixori and Althaea. They had some fun trying to save Christmas from some candy monsters and some evil archfey. But this was just a little side thing, and none of this is really canon in the main story. So they just went balls to wall crazy in it. But next week we'll be back in our story, continuing in Wildleaf, seeing how they plan to deal with a would-be thief and conspirators. But until then,
That's hilarious. I could have killed Homeboy there like earlier. I could have totally whacked him like way earlier.
But until next week, everybody have a safe and happy holiday weekend and happy gaming.
Be safe.
See ya.
Yeah,